nicely done, too. Almost everyone in this room most likely grew up reading the books of Dr. Seuss, or at least hearing his rhymes and rhythms as your parents read his books to you at night. Well, in a rather unique ending to our speeches this year, our next speaker, Jake Sussler, is going to make an attempt at recreating the rhymes and the rhythms of Dr. Seuss in his speech. In addition to being appropriate for Poetry Month, and no, we did not plan it this way, the contents of the speech is also appropriate for the end of the year because it's really a tribute to the friendships that have blossomed in this year's senior class. Jake?
Thank you, Mr. Murakanich. Throughout the last 7 years, I have been greatly influenced by my peers. So as I stand before you today, I have a task at hand and no time to delay. I will rhyme about my friends, for which my respect has no end. But before I start, I must say, there's not enough time to mention all you today. As for all those who I will not mention, keep doing what you do, because what you do has created this person who stands in front of you. Robert Field is the first friend on my list to talk about, a responsible leader and a goofy Boy Scout. Robert has taught me how to handle a bad day, how to be humble, and that even the class acts can take a stumble. He's taught me how to not take things too seriously and how to relax. He's taught me how to, quote, let it roll off my back. Robert, the most important thing that I've learned from you is how to be myself, because if I don't, it may just be the last thing I do. So I would like to thank Robert Field, you see, for all the ways he has influenced me. Now, Nick and Cam Rader, I will mention together, because they influence me in any weather. Let it be any season at all, spring, fall, winter, or summer, they've taught me to be a competent third brother. Now, it's important to work hard. We all know that. But even the most dedicated soldiers may go off guard, and that's a fact. So when that time will come, these two brothers have definitely taught me to have fun. You've taught me to grab life by the horns, pull the trigger, and pay no attention to the sign that forewarns. Now, this may sound dangerous, but I must say, it also taught me common sense is a must to obey. And from here, I must move on. So thank you for being friends that I can always rely upon. Camden James Regan. I don't think there's a high school skier in Maine that he is not beaten. His determination always showed from his incredibly fast pace, although we really needed a bucket with his name on it at the end of every race. Even with talent and determination on his hands, he's a great teammate and role model who understands. He's supportive and comforting on good and bad days, and he is never in anger or dismay. And for this confidence he has given me, I was able to meet my goals and be the best skier I could be. Rudy Giuliani, yes, I admire you too. You've done many things that I may never gather the courage to do. You pushed me out of my comfort zone. You pushed me to my limit. I've always looked up to you. I've just never been able to admit it. The amount of confidence you have is outstanding. And the leader in you has finally gained my understanding. So with all those ski trips and Nerf gun battles we've had, something tells me our friendship will never go bad. Benjamin Randall, you've taught me a very important lesson. You've taught me to be my own person, and it's no need to make a false impression. I've learned that if I was a different person, that's who I'd be. But that's not the case, because the only person I am is me. Yes, I like the Smashing Pumpkins, and I know you don't concur, but you like AWOL Nation, and I think that's just absurd. So, thank you for being you and keeping me in check. For your personality and attitude towards life has surely gained my respect. Evan Kendall, your determination is truly inspiring. Your devotion and drive is definitely something worth acquiring. Because of you, Evan, I want to try harder every day at just about everything I do in every way. I want to strive for perfection, even when it's out of reach, because I've had a fearless leader such as you to help guide and teach. So for this aspect of life that you have guided, I'm glad you're my friend. I'm sincerely delighted. Anthony Hardy, or AJ for short, one friend with whom I will probably always consort. There is so much to say about such a friend, so how I will describe his influence will be a very loose end. Almost all of my philosophy that I practice and believe in today has come from some part of his philosophy in some way. AJ has taught me to think rationally, something I would never have done casually. And even though he may not be the most sentimental, he's easy to talk to, being so unjudgmental. AJ, you've influenced me so much over the last 3 years. I'm going to miss not talking with you because we won't be so near. But one thing I am sure of is you'll always be a part of me because of our thinking and our shared philosophy. Finally, I'll get to a friend who's done something I never would have thought. He's taken a spot of a brother to me, which I sometimes need a lot. Grant McPherson is more than a friend to me, because I can talk to him about anything very easily. But what he has taught me is truly inspiring. He's taught me to fight on even when my hopes are expiring. He's taught me about hard times and how to get through them, and his ears will always be open to me, no matter how late in the PM. I know that it is important to have hopes and dreams, but he taught me to prevail when none seemed to gleam. A friend and a brother may be what I see, but a mentor and a hero is what he deserves to be. So, within these last few moments, I must say, I've learned a lot from even myself today. I've learned that the relationships I've had have uncountable worth. In fact, they are the most valuable things you can have on this earth. So look to your left and look to your right and ask yourself this: what have these people done that I've overlooked or missed? Do I consider them my friends, or do I not? Or does it matter because their influence surely hasn't been for God? So I leave you today with this one last thought. Think about your friends and what they have taught. An exchange of words or a brief conversation may just be the help you need to find your destination. Thank you.
That was very good.